Audible Inc. presents The Big Bang Theory. What it is, where it came from, and why it works. Written by Karen C. Fox. Narrated by L.J. Ganser.
Introduction. In early 1998, two groups of astrophysicists made a startling announcement. The universe, which had always been thought to be expanding and gradually slowing down, might actually be speeding up. The scientists had been watching supernovas, the explosive death throes of a dying star, at distances greater than had ever been seen before. The speeds and distances of these brilliant fireballs suggested that all of space was swelling up ever faster, accelerating over time. This information took everything scientists thought they knew about the way the universe was supposed to work and dumped it on its head. Suddenly, gravity, the force that was supposed to be holding everything in the universe together and keeping it at a manageable size, wasn't in control. Instead, some mysterious energy was actually resisting gravity and counteracting it. The findings, if true, insist that physicists re-examine how they interpret everything from Einstein's relativity theory to how the universe has evolved since the Big Bang. And yet, the scientific community took the new results in stride. New data had been found that contradicted old ideas. And so the time had come to adjust those ideas. As they examined the surprising news of this runaway universe, cosmologists realized that by changing some of their assumptions, this new information might actually make the Big Bang theory better. By incorporating this mysterious anti-gravity, they were able to solve another problem, that there wasn't enough matter in the universe that had long dogged them. This is a fine example of how a cosmological theory gets molded. Scientists are fairly confident in the outlines of their theories, but they also must remember that these theories aren't etched in stone. A theory is worthwhile only if it matches what is actually seen. If contradictory data show up, then one has to adjust the theory. And yet it's hard to resist getting overly committed to a specific idea, to keep an open mind, and to not get caught up in the dogma. This book is about that all-important open-mindedness. It is about the attempt to fashion a solid theory, the very best theory ever devised for how the universe began, and yet to be flexible enough to modify the theory when necessary. For most of history, cosmology has been intricately entwined with religion and philosophy. How was the universe created? Why was it created? How does it work? How unique is Earth, our solar system, mankind? With questions this big, one almost has to rely on answers from all three disciplines, religion, philosophy, and science, each of which uses a fantastically different method to find an explanation. While this book touches on religion and philosophy, it is primarily concerned with the scientific description, and it's important to understand the distinction. Religious explanations, for example, do not attempt to be objective, independent from the untestable beliefs of the people. A religion's interpretations invariably use the visible culture and landscape of its society to explain the invisible forces in the world. Babylonian myths had the universe created out of silt, much the way their homeland was made out of silt from the ocean. Native Americans told stories of the world being created by the coyotes and foxes, like those living in the woods around them. Religious stories about the origins of the universe are valuable in the ways they offer comfort and order in what can be a chaotic world. As literal truths, however, they lose their potency, since they fail to paint a picture that corresponds to what we observe. Philosophy, on the other hand, arising in Greece in about 500 BCE, does offer explanations believed to be true. It doesn't depend on any divine or magical hand to describe the world, and instead offers rational explanations. But philosophy doesn't involve experiments or rigorous testing of any theories. In fact, the modern
Sample complete. Ready to continue?